darkness fell, but Luthien knew her heart full well. She sought to follow him to free, but Thingol said, "This shall not be." Love and half in fear, Thingol took counsel his most dear to guard and keep. He would not bind in caverns deep and intertwined sweet Luthien, his lovely maid, who robbed of air must wane and fade, who e'er must look upon the sky and see the sun and moon go by. But close unto his mounded seat and grassy throne there ran the feet of Hirilorn, the beechen queen. Upon her triple bowls were seen no break or branch, until aloft in a greener glimmer, distant soft, the mightiest vault of leaf and bough, from world's beginning until now, was flung above Escaldwin's shores and the long slopes to Thingol's doors.
There Luthien was bidden dwell until she was wiser, and the spell of madness left her. Up she clomb long ladders unto her new home. Among the leaves, among the birds, she sang no song, she spoke no words. White glimmering in the tree she rose, and her little door they heard her close. The ladders were taken, and no more her feet might tread Escaldwin's shore. Their dire and grieving often stood in sorrow for the captive of the wood, and melodies made upon his flute, leaning against a great tree root. Would from her window stare and see him far under piping there, and only Doriath would she let across her threshold foot to set. Now Melion's daughter of deep lore knew many things, yea, magics more than then, or now no elven maids that glint and shimmer in the glades. She pondered long while the moon sank and faded and the starlight shrank.
Then Doriath she called, "I prithee, friend, climb up and talk to Luthien." She said, "My Doriath, thou hast craft beside thy music, many a shaft and many a tool of carven wood. cunning. It were good if thou wouldst make a little loom to stand in the corner of my room. My idle fingers would spin and weave a pattern of colors of morn and eve, of sun and moon and changing light, amid the beech leaves waving bright.
This Doriath did, and asked her then,
O Luthien, what wilt thou weave, what wilt thou spin?
A marvelous thread, and wind therein a potent magic, and a spell I will weave within my web, that hell nor all the powers of dread shall break.
Then Doriath wondered, but he spake no word to Thingol, though his heart feared the dark purpose of her art.
And Luthien now was left alone, and sang a song to men unknown, profound and fathomless and dark, as Luthien's shadowy hair was dark. Each thread was more slender and more fine than threads of twilight that entwine in filmy web the fading grass and closing flowers as day doth pass.
Now long and longer grew her hair, and fell to her feet, and wandered there like pools of shadow on the ground. And Luthien in a slumber drowned was laid upon her bed, and slept till morning through the windows crept. Behold, her hair from windows blew in morning airs, and darkly grew, waving about the pillars grey of Hirilorn at break of day.
Then groping she found her little shears, and cut the hair about her ears, and close she cropped it to her head, and chanted tresses thread by thread. And now was her labor but begun, long was she spinning, long she spun.
Then Doriath feared, and in amaze he called from under. But 3 days she answered not. Of cloudy hair she wove a web of misty air, of moonless night, and thereof made a robe as fluttering dark as shade beneath great trees. Then swift she takes the threads unused, of these she makes a slender rope of twisted strands, yet long and stout, and with her hand she makes it fast unto the shaft of Herilorn. Now all her craft and labor ended, look she forth from her little window facing north. Now clad as in a cloud she hung, now down her roped hair she swung, as light as a squirrel, and away, away she danced. And who can say what path she took, whose elvish feet no impress made a dancing fleet?